Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Where in the USA is Carmen Sandiego. Right now, we're going to get started with our next case.
Here's what we know about the case. To start your investigation, call Acme Travel Service. Now get going.
We're headed to Massachusetts to find the House of Seven Gables. Let's get started right now. Also, I'm going to turn off the music so I can concentrate on what I'm looking at. Somewhere in the deep south, and what we do know about this individual is that it's a male. But I wonder if he likes French food, which I cannot say if it's possible. And we gotta pay attention to this clue because I might have to Google search it. Lake Pond is the word. Unless the crime net gives me something different. Okay, so Lake Pond it is. Okay, so I did manage to Google search it, and I might have to put letter initials on it. It's taking place in this state. And by this state, I meant Louisiana. But let's see if this is accurate. Yes, it is. And I have to keep on looking for that state. Let's dial Bell.
He had mahogany locks, as I recall.
Okay, so Bell states that this male has a mahogany locks. To which I forgot what mahogany is. It's sort of like a reddish brown. This one has the Sears Tower, which I do remember the word Sears Tower, but I can't remember exactly which state it is. Sears Tower again. Hold on for a second. Okay, so apparently his hair color could have been either brown or red. So I'm going to put it on red just in case. And the Sears Tower is at this spot. And I also have not wrote these initials down, so okay, so next up, his eye color is dark like rich topsoil. So I can only assume that it's brown. So let's check out the court place, and it's something to do with the Red River and Street Lawrence or something. I don't know if it's St. Lawrence or Street Lawrence. Either way, I don't know what it is. It's on Lake Superior. So I googled the word Lake Superior. So it's either going to be one of the three states. Well, I remember it's either Minnesota, Wyoming, or Michigan. There's no Michigan. So I'm going to guess it's Wyoming. This is probably the moment where I mistaken my tracks. Let's see here. Yep, I misstepped my tracks, so it's in Minnesota. It has to be Minnesota. Because if not, then I'm going to have to start this over, because I don't know exactly what it's trying to imply. Oh yes, there we go. Whew, that was a close one. Now, where is Minnesota on my paper? There it is. I'm going to put the letter initials LSP. But first, we're going to talk to the clown. And it says something about this place and that place. And he likes acrylic colors or water paint, which means that he is a painter. And it's gotta be Ed. It's gotta be Ed, but I don't know what his food is. It could be French, but I may be wrong. We also have Dayton, which I haven't wrote that down. Alright. Let's see. According to according to the Google search, Dayton is taking place in this state. I think I have Akron wrote down, but I'm also going to write down Dayton. Yep, that's the one. Oh, it's that wrestler again. Okay, so let's talk to the priest. And basically he says something about poles for the deep powder. Poles for the deep powder. I don't know what that means. But a new pair of poles for the deep powder. I wonder if it means golf. I mean, it has to be, right? I do not know. Mount Vernon. And let's use the crime net just in case. Alright, I Google searched the Mount Vernon, and it's right over here, apparently. And I was right. Uh-oh, it looks like a Vile member is here. The only person that has red eyes and brown...
Division,
no, brown
Wanda
eyes
here.
and red hair. Let's see if this is accurate.
Your evidence eliminates all suspects.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Unless... hold on. Unless it's... hold on. I think I have an idea. What if it's not red hair, it's actually brown, and his sport is skiing? Because the only person that likes to paint is Hugo.
Here's your warrant.
Yep, that's the one. But is he guilty? I hope so, because if I get this wrong, this will be the first time I got it wrong. Alright, let's see what he has to say, the judge.
Order in the court. The court finds the defendant guilty.
Yep, that's the guy. Thank goodness I changed the evidence, because otherwise I would not understand what mahogany is. I think the deep pal and stuff threw me off.
Good
along with
job.
not the
You
eye
did
color, the
good.
hair color. The chief said, "Good job, you did good, thank you. We only have 2 more cases to solve."
Okay, are you ready for another case? Here's what we know so far. To start your investigation, phone Acme Travel Service. Okay, that's it.
Okay, we're headed to Kentucky because of the church. I can't pronounce this word. Something to do with gardening. Alright, so somewhere in the Old West Mines in Virginia City, and apparently the suspect is a male. So we already established that. And it's somewhere in Hoover Dam. Okay, I wrote down the letter initials of Hoover Dam, and I believe it's either Nevada or Arizona. Since there's no Arizona, it's got to be Nevada. It has to be. And because of that, I'm going to color 2 letter initials yellow because I wanted to remember. Okay, so I highlighted in yellow for Nevada. So next up we have Mount Sunflower, which is a sunflower state, and he likes classical music because it says something about Beethoven. What else it has to say of Topeka? I don't know if the state is in Topeka, but we need to figure out what is Mount Sunflower State. Leavenworth? Well, according to the Google search, it's definitely Kansas. I wonder if I wrote that down too. Yep, Kansas is the right one. But the problem is that every time when I thought I wrote something down, it's like my memory is blank for some reason. Although I did wrote down Topeka, which I did not remember it, but you know, he held a Diet Coke. Oh my goodness, that means he's on a diet. Let's go to the hall, crossing Delaware. I don't know what that's supposed to imply. For some reason, none of these clues that this general or any of this gave me any idea. The birth state of the nation. I did Google search these sentences right here, and I gotta check to see if this is the one. It's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or technically Philadelphia. I'm not sure. This is going real badly, but so far I got that right. Spray paint girl, go away. I know that you're there. We're definitely getting close. Somewhere in the Portland Head Lighthouse. And his eyes is chocolate milk. So it's definitely brown. Next up in the investigation. Something to do with gardener. I wonder his hobbies is gardening. Let's call the prime net. Wait a minute, I've seen this before, but I can't remember what it was. Okay, so I remember writing this down on a piece of paper, and I think it took place in Maine. And I have to highlight this in green. Yep, it's the right one. Sorry for the stalling. Let's call Bill.
He was carrying pruning shears, dear.
So basically she's saying he was carrying gardening shears. So this confirms that his hobby is gardening. Okay, somewhere in the Fort McHenry National something. I don't know what kind of clue helps me there. Oh, wait a minute. I did see Greenbelt. Okay, so I didn't wrote down Greenbelt, but let's see. It's in Maryland, I believe. Skip this animation real quickly. Yep. Uh-oh. It looks like this individual's here. So that means I need to issue a warrant. So here is the evidence.
Warrant Division, Wanda speaking. I'm issuing you a warrant.
Thank you. Oh, it looks like it is Ed Stellara. And apparently that's one of the piece of evidence that I'm missing in my list of suspects. Let me see, where is it? Alright, let's hear what the judge says.
Order in the court. The court finds the defendant guilty.
Yeah, he is guilty. Without question. Anyway, it looks like I wrote down every single piece of evidence from my suspect list on a piece of paper. And that's the one thing that's missing on Ed, and that's he was on a diet. That's one of his favorite foods. Okay, sorry about that. I accidentally pressed the mouse button on my laptop, and I was trying to write down his his favorite foods. Only one more case before I receive a promotion.
Okay, are you ready for another case?
Yes, indeedy.
Here's what we know so far. To start your investigation, call Acme Travel Service. Now get going.
We're headed to Delaware to find the Grand Opera House. Well, technically it was stolen, but nevertheless, we had to find it. Well, technically we had to figure out who the culprit is. Who is the suspect? So let's ask the jock. The jock says something about Bighorn Lake and the little one, which is the Little Bighorn River. And he always ate croissants for breakfast. So it's definitely, once again, a male who likes French food. So let's inspect the sports club. And it looks like Booze Man is in the list somewhere. I forgot where's that. I don't want to make this a long video, but let me pause it for a moment. Okay, I managed to find both men on a piece of paper. And let's see if this is the location, which is right here. I have to use a Sharpie marker just to highlight it so I can be able to understand it. If it's like one word, that's where I highlight it with one color, while the other ones with two words is a different color. Let's talk to Herbert.
He's a killer poker player.
That only means he likes card games. So let's put that in the evidence here. And we're going to ask the vet about something. Princeton University. It sounds familiar, but I can't remember what it was. So let's investigate the clinic. Washington Bridge, yada yada yada, nearby Pasaki. No, I cannot pronounce this word. Now I did Google search that word, and apparently it all took place right over here. I don't have enough space to write that down, but I did put the two-letter initials, which is PU, which is Princeton University. Alright, something to do with the garden in this location. Expect me to pause this constantly whenever I'm trying to figure out some things. I have to look it up so that I won't have to make it too much of a long video. Okay, I have to look it up through this word again, because I don't think I remember writing this down. It's in Hawaii. At least I hope so. Yep, that's the one. Okay, Tennis Pro, what you have here? Something to do with space needles, and he likes Italian American music, so it's salsa. Somewhere is in the summit of Mount Rainier. I don't know if I wrote this down. I don't know if I wrote space needles or something. But let's try one more thing before I make a decision. Something to do with space needles. Okay, I have to Google search it, even though I should not done that. But it's going to take place in Seattle, Washington. Let's see. Here is the lumberjack. Okay, so I have not wrote down space needles. That's something that I need to work on. But first, let's check this out. I keep seeing a dark serene color. So I can only assume that it's blue, but I might be wrong. So, let me see which suspect has blue eyes, likes card games, eats French food, and likes the salsa. Okay, I checked the list of suspects, and I think the eyes are brown, not blue. I couldn't understand that definition of what the engineer said. Okay, so it has something to do with a jewel cave in the Black Hills. I don't know if I have the Black Hills written down, but it's taking place in the Rabbit City. Not Rabbit, Rapid City. Okay, so I have to Google search it again, and apparently it's in this location. Keep in mind that this game is harder if you don't know much about the states or geographic things. Alright, so it looks like the suspect is here, so let's transmit a warrant.
Warrant Division, Wanda speaking. Okay. Here's your warrant.
Alright, so it's technically Ray, who likes card games, salsa dancing, has brown eyes, eats French food, and etc. Who else has brown eyes? If I could find it. But I need to not delay the recording. The other one is Hugo, but he's a vegetarian and likes to paint. So, obviously this is the culprit that we're after. So now we just gotta find him. Okay, I wrote Rapid City down while they're catching the vile culprit. So let's see the verdict, or hear the
Order
verdict.
in the court. The court finds the defendant guilty.
Indeed he is. So I think this is case number 16, if my memory serves correctly. I don't remember.
Good
because
job.
I blacked out
You did good.
for some reason.
You've earned a promotion.
But needless to say that I got my promotion, and I'm promoted to Sir Inspector, or Senior Inspector.
Okay, are you ready for another case?
Not today, Chief, because I gotta wrap this up. So I'll see you all in the next part. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, be kind to others. Have a wonderful day.